Hi, and welcome to Historical Influence. Today we embark on a journey high into the Andean peaks, exploring the remarkable civilization of the Inca, an empire that spanned vast ecological extremes, held together by an unparalleled transportation network known as the Qhapaq Ñan, or the Royal Road. The Inca Empire, or Tawantinsuyu, stretched across territories that today include Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, Bolivia, Chile, and Argentina. This vast realm, covering almost 2 million square kilometers and inhabited by about 12 million people, required an extremely advanced system to govern. At the heart of this world lay Cusco, the capital city. The Inca Spanish chronicler Inca Garcilaso de la Vega stated that Cusco, in the language of the Incas, means navel, that is, the Earth's navel. Cusco was divided into 4 major districts, corresponding to the 4 suyus or provinces of the empire: Chinchaysuyu, north; Collasuyu, south; Antisuyu, east; and Contisuyu, west. The roads officially stemmed from Cusco in these 4 cardinal directions. The foundation of Inca power rested largely on their mastery of infrastructure. The Inca road system was the most extensive and advanced transportation system in pre-Columbian South America. Its total length is estimated to have been around 40,000 kilometers, or 25,000 miles. The construction of this network required a huge expenditure of time and effort. This road system, parts of which predate the Incas and were built by cultures like the Wari and Tiahuanacu, was formally organized, carefully planned, engineered, and constantly maintained. It remains a UNESCO World Heritage Site today. The Inca civilization is defined by its stone architecture, famous for the monumentality of its structures and the meticulous skill of its masonry. Inca architecture is known for its durability and precise fitting of massive stone blocks, often without the use of mortar. This precision allowed structures to withstand the high seismic activity in the Andes for centuries. A prime example is the polygonal masonry, or polygonal walling, where multi-angled stones were tightly fitted together at arbitrary angles, utilizing the stone's natural shape and requiring only the adjoining surfaces to be worked. The Incas perfected this technique, fitting enormous monolites weighing several tons with incredible accuracy. Key architectural sites include Cusco itself, Ollantaytambo, and the formidable fortress of Sacsayhuaman. Sacsayhuaman was built over 80 years, with walls composed of limestone blocks weighing up to 200 tons. Perhaps the most famous site is Machu Picchu, an architecturally unique mountain city and a residence of Pachakutik. The location of Machu Picchu was not accidental. Brazilian geologists suggest the city was constructed directly on the intersection of major geological fault lines. These faults provided an abundance of stone for construction, making it easier to produce the ideal blocks needed for their signature masonry. Furthermore, these deep fractures in the rock served a vital engineering purpose. They acted as efficient drainage channels, helping the population cope with the incredibly strong rains common in the region, which otherwise caused landslides. Machu Picchu's drainage system, which included terraces and over 130 drainage channels, managed water flow and prevented erosion, demonstrating an engineering prowess that still impresses modern experts. This ingenuity is essential, as building a city on a steep hill requires sophisticated water management to prevent erosion.
The sheer scale and engineering complexity of the Qhapaq Ñan distinguish it globally. It compares directly to the road network of the Roman Empire, though built 1,000 years later. The network was based on 2 principal north-south routes: the coastal road, which hugged the foothills to avoid coastal deserts, and the more vital inland road running high up in the Puna, grassland of the Andes, often exceeding 4,000 meters or 13,000 feet in altitude. More than 20 transversal routes connected these two main arteries, sometimes reaching altitudes over 5,000 meters or 16,000 feet in altitude. Road construction and maintenance were organized through the mita, a labor tax provided to the state by the conquered populations. Officials, often Inca nobility, managed the roads, bridges, and communications. The engineering adapted dramatically to the challenging Andean terrain. Roadways, construction standards varied widely based on the environment. In mountains, carefully arranged paving stones or cobbles were used. The roadway width typically ranged between 1 and 4 meters, but the main Cusco to Quito portion was often wider than 4 meters and sometimes reached up to 16 meters. The Incas prioritized the straightness of the roads whenever possible to shorten distances. Support structures. On steep slopes, retaining walls, made of stone, adobe, or mud, were built to level the road platform and prevent soil sliding. In rocky areas, flights of stairs or ramps were built or carved directly into the rock to overcome steep slopes. Drainage. Sophisticated drainage systems, including ditches and culverts, were essential due to heavy rainfall in the mountains and jungle areas. Bridges. Bridges were critical for crossing rivers and ravines. Types included log bridges supported by stone abutments, stone slab bridges, and, most famously, Inca rope bridges, suspension or catenary bridges made of vegetable fibers like ichu. The bridge over the Apurimac River spanned 45 meters, or 148 feet, and required replacement roughly every 2 years through the mita labor system. Causeways and tunnels. In wet areas, elevated embankments created causeways. A rare example of tunneling exists near the Apurimac rope bridge, where a tunnel with side openings for light was carved into the rock to access the narrowest part of the gorge. The Qhapaq Ñan, marked by stone piles, majones, or milestones, and ritual stone mounds, apachetas, placed by travelers, became a permanent symbol of the Inca ideological presence across the vast territory.
The road system served military, religious, and administrative purposes, enabling the rapid transfer of goods, soldiers, persons, and information. Transportation and labor. All transportation was done on foot, as the use of the wheel for transport was unknown in pre-Columbian America. The primary pack animals were llamas, which could carry about 30 kilograms or 66 pounds for 20 kilometers or 12 miles per day. Llamas have soft, padded hooves, which had a negligible impact on the road service. Caravans often utilized 2 or 3 herdsmen to manage flocks of llamas transporting goods. Communication and administration. Information moved swiftly via the chasqui, or running messengers, who used relay stations called chasquihuasis, spaced at short intervals. The speed of chasqui relays was notably high, allowing for rapid communication throughout the expansive empire. The messages and records transmitted were coded using quipu, or quipu, a complex mnemonic and counting system based on knotted cords made of cotton or camelid hair, llama or alpaca. The quipu could contain up to 2,500 hanging threads. While primarily used for accounting, recording taxes and demographic statistics using a decimal system, some evidence suggests they may have also contained non-numerical, narrative, or even geographical data, like maps of star clusters. The existence of quipu suggests a sophisticated system of record-keeping, where figures like the quipu camayocs, or quipu officials, meticulously managed all state data. Support network. Along the roads, there were carefully situated support buildings. Tambos, or way stations, were placed at roughly one-day walking intervals to provide lodging, rest, and provisions for road users. Tambos were also transformed into stores and shops during the colonial period. Golcas, or warehouses, served as administrative centers for storing and redistributing goods. These houses were primarily for the storage of grains and maize. Pucaras, or fortresses,
were located near the empire's boundaries or in newly conquered territories, often marking the advance of the empire. Religious use. The roads also served deeply religious functions. They connected to sacred sites, including high-altitude shrines built on mountain peaks, dedicated to the Apus, or mountain deities. Ritual roads could reach extreme heights, such as Mount Chanyi, at 5,949 meters, or 19,518 feet. In addition to mountain shrines, there were holy sites called Huaca along the roads, especially near Cusco. The economy of the Incas was highly centralized, managed by the ruling elite and based on the redistribution of resources known as the vertical archipelago. Commercial exchanges, buying and selling, were generally not practiced, reinforcing the state's central authority.
The Inca Empire began its historical expansion around 1438 CE under the reign of Pachacuti. This expansion involved modifying or constructing road structures to ensure connectivity with Cusco and other administrative centers, facilitating the movement of troops and officials. The Qhapaq Ñan thus became a permanent symbol of the ideological presence of the Inca dominion. However, the period following the Spanish conquest of Peru saw the dramatic collapse of the Inca system. The population suffered a severe demographic catastrophe, declining from over 12 million to about 1.1 million within 50 years due to disease and war. This destruction decimated the social structure necessary for maintaining the massive road network. The Spanish conquistadors, while initially using parts of the Inca roads to reach Cusco, quickly found the infrastructure unsuitable for their needs. They utilized horses and ox carts, which were ineffective on the original Inca design, leading to the abandonment and destruction of much of the network. The Spanish economy shifted focus from internal longitudinal/transversal integration to connecting Andean valleys with the coast for exporting minerals, gold and silver. The abandonment of the Inca roads was also hastened by the inadequacy of the paths for the new pack animals, horses and mules, introduced by the conquerors, which replaced the lightweight llamas. Chroniclers such as Pedro Ciza de Leon in 1553 already noted the road's abandonment and destruction, though admiring its former greatness. Today, only about 25% of the original network remains visible, with the rest destroyed by conflicts, economic shifts, or covered by modern infrastructure. Despite this, the legacy of the Qhapaq Ñan persists. In modern times, portions such as the Inca Trail to Machu Picchu are heavily utilized for tourism. More significantly, a 2021 study revealed long-term socioeconomic benefits, showing that communities living within 20 kilometers of the Inca Road still exhibit higher wages, better nutrition, and higher school levels compared to similar, more distant communities. In 2014, the Andean road system, Qhapaq Ñan, achieved recognition as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, ensuring that this monumental achievement of engineering and administration continues to be preserved and studied.
Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that shaped our world.